Welcome to this explainer on RStudio Dark Mode. Let's just jump right in and validate a pain we all know way too well. Coding for multi-hour data analysis sessions while staring straight into a blindingly bright white RStudio interface. I mean, if you've spent any amount of time wrangling data, running statistical models, or building visualizations, you know exactly how harsh that default glare can be on your eyes. It's literally like staring into the sun. So if you've ever felt that late-night eye fatigue creeping in, you've probably stopped, rubbed your eyes, and asked yourself, does RStudio actually have a dark mode? A lot of people honestly assume it doesn't, just because it isn't turned on by default. Well, I am very happy to tell you the answer is a satisfying, resounding yes. It is completely built right in. No extra installations, no sketchy downloads, and seriously, no complicated workarounds. It's sitting right there in the software, just waiting for you to flip the switch.
So how do we enable dark mode? Let's go through the steps.
Let's get that workspace transformed in just a few clicks. The path is incredibly straightforward. First, you just click on Tools up in the top menu bar. Second, select Global Options right from that dropdown. Third, click over to the Appearance tab in the left-hand pane. And finally, under Editor Theme, just pick any theme marked dark. Once you hit Apply, boom, it updates instantly across your code editor and console. You don't even have to restart RStudio. Oh, and a super quick note for the Mac users out there, your Mac OS system-wide dark mode won't magically change RStudio automatically. RStudio actually handles its own appearance totally internally. But don't worry, the exact steps we just covered are perfectly identical whether you're on Windows or a Mac.
Now, let's talk about something I like to call the half-light trap.
Because right when you think you've totally solved the problem and you hit Apply, you might fall into what is easily the single most common source of confusion in RStudio. You apply your sleek new settings, but suddenly you realize something's off. Your code editor and console are beautifully dark, sure, but your menus, your toolbars, and your window borders are still blindingly light. So what the lives? Why does your workspace suddenly have a split personality? Well, this happens because of a little hidden gotcha that trips up so many users. RStudio actually has two completely independent appearance settings living right there in the exact same Appearance tab. You've got the RStudio theme, which controls the outer Chrome, so your toolbar, menus, borders, and panel headers. And then entirely separate from that, you have the editor theme, which controls the actual workspace itself, the code editor, the console, and the syntax highlighting. So if you want to elevate yourself to power user status and fix that jarring mismatch, here's the pro tip. You absolutely must ensure that the RStudio theme dropdown is also set to dark, right alongside your chosen dark editor theme. Setting both of those guarantees a fully consistent, edge-to-edge dark workspace. Moving right along, let's get into choosing your aesthetic with the built-in themes. Now that we have a beautifully consistent dark interface, let's get to the really fun part. RStudio actually ships with roughly 19 built-in dark themes right out of the box. Let's look at the top 3 fan favorites. First up is Cobalt. This one features a deep blue background with really high contrast. It is incredibly popular. Then we've got Dracula, which is a super sleek purple-gray option that's honestly fantastic for readability over super long coding sessions. And finally, there's Tomorrow Night. This one offers a soft, dark gray, low-contrast experience that's remarkably gentle on the eyes if you're working all day long. But hey, if those top 3 aren't really your vibe, there's a huge variety of other amazing built-in choices. You could try Monokai with its warm background and vivid colors. That one was ported straight over from Sublime Text. Or you might really like the near black background and orange-heavy syntax of Merbivore. Or if you want something that really pops off the screen, Vibrant Ink gives you this pure black background with bright multicolor syntax highlighting. But wait, there's more. You know, if you're a true customization enthusiast and you want to go way beyond those built-in 19 themes, you can actually use the RStudio API package. Specifically, there's a function called Add Theme that lets you install dozens of custom community themes directly from GitHub. You just point it to a .rs theme or .tm theme file and you're good to go. The possibilities here are practically endless. Okay, so we've got the editor looking great, but now we have to face the final boss. White plots. Picture this. Your setup is fully dark, the menus perfectly match the editor, and you're just feeling absolutely unstoppable. But then you run your code. Boom, you generate a chart, and it is just incredibly jarring when a ggplot2 visual suddenly flashes this massive, blindingly bright white background right over your perfectly sleek, dark editor. Seriously, it feels like someone just shined a flashlight right in your eyes. So why on earth does this happen?
Well, the crucial thing to understand here is that this is absolutely not a bug. RStudio intentionally separates the application framework from the actual rendered output. Your plots and viewer panes are designed to render content using the exact default colors of whatever they are displaying. Basically, they aren't going to force a dark background onto an image that is fundamentally coded to be white. To beat this final boss, you just have to take control inside your code. You simply need to set a dark background within the actual plotting code itself. For instance, if you're using ggplot2, just adding theme_dark to your plot sequence will instantly bring your visualizations right into visual harmony with the rest of your customized dark setup. It's really that simple. Before we wrap up, let's cover a few final appearance tweaks to optimize your comfort.
We're going to look at 3 quick bonus settings right back in that same Appearance tab to really maximize your daily comfort. First up, consider swapping out the default monospace font for something like Furacode or JetBrains Mono. Those are fantastic if you want clean coding ligatures. Second, dial in that font size. Generally, 12 to 14 points is the sweet spot for a laptop screen at arm's length. And lastly, don't forget about the zoom feature. If you happen to have a high DPI display, it can sometimes make dark themes look a little washed out. Adjusting the zoom scales the entire interface and keeps everything perfectly crisp.
Oh, and just a really quick point of clarification here. If you happen to be running base R in a terminal outside of RStudio entirely, you should know that R itself doesn't actually have a graphic user interface or a visual theme. In that specific case, achieving dark mode relies entirely on your specific terminal or text editor's system settings, not on R itself. So we've covered a ton of ground in this explainer today, from finding that hidden RStudio theme toggle all the way to finally taming those blindingly white plots. By taking just a few minutes to configure these specific RStudio and editor settings, it really makes you wonder how much more focus and how much more analytical endurance will you unlock in your daily coding sessions now that your workspace is truly completely optimized for your eyes. Go ahead and give these settings a try and